3 takeaways from Minnesota Vikings training camp this far. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Minnesota Vikings Syndicate, a show for the fans by a fan. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe and that notification bell so you're notified every time we drop a video. Let's try to get the channel to 250 subs by kickoff, which is September 11th against the Green Bay Packers. We're currently sitting at 146, slowly but surely growing our way to 250, so make sure to hit that subscribe. So let's get right to it. Let's have 3 takeaways from Minnesota Vikings training camp up to this point. There are a couple good ones, a couple ones that make you go, well, that's some good news. And let me tell you, I am pumped about the future this season for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's start right off the bat with the first observation, the first takeaway, in which the Minnesota Vikings are being strategic, with player mileage. We know that's very crucial in the early stages of training camp and in the early stages of the preseason. In an article by Craig Peters and Lindsey Young per Vikings.com, here's what they kind of laid out for us. They said O'Connell entered camp with 11 practices scheduled for full pads out of a max of 16. Now, he hasn't updated or upped that number. On Sunday, during a non-padded session, he had the team participate in a great deal of the practice at a jog-through speed ahead of the Monday night practice. They followed up with saying, beyond that, the Vikings have been attentive to workloads, mixing in younger players in place of veterans, which can have a twofold impact. In addition to the rest, the reps for the less experienced players have provided growth opportunities. The approach has been appreciated on both sides of the football. So that's good news to know that O'Connell, the new coaching staff, is making sure our guys don't put too much mileage under their feet prior to the regular season getting started. We know that preseason week 1 against the Raiders is this Sunday, so why amp it up now? Let's keep it at a minimum. Let's keep these guys healthy for as long as possible. Even though injuries do happen, it's a part of the game. We wish it didn't happen. But the Vikings are being strategic with player mileage. Another takeaway. Apparently, kicker for the Minnesota Vikings have really been hit or miss. We either find a guy that can hit some field goals for about half the season, or we get a guy that just can't hit the broadside of a barn. But apparently, Greg Joseph has been making nearly everything. Here's what Craig Peters had to say. There's only one kicker in Vikings training camp this year, and Greg Joseph is impressing. Joseph is entering his second season in Minnesota and has been on the mark all summer long, hitting the ball well during organized team activities, minicamp, and now training camp. I have the utmost, highest confidence, Viking special teams coordinator Matt Daniels said earlier this month. I'll put it on record right now and say that I firmly believe Greg Joseph will have his best year of his career this year. You can just tell the process and approach he's taking on each and every individual kick, Daniels later added. You can tell he's really dialed in, and I'm excited for Greg. Even better news. We can barely find a kicker, at least we haven't found a kicker the past couple seasons. Greg Joseph has seemed, up to this point, to be our franchise guy at kicker. Now, you could say it's not really a franchise guy because kickers are easily replaceable, especially if they miss 5 kicks, 6 kicks, 10 kicks in a season. We know how valuable a field goal can be and how valuable an extra point can be, but Greg Joseph is impressing early on in training camp. Hopefully that continues throughout not only the preseason, but also the regular season. And last but not least, one final takeaway from Vikings training camp so far. And well, you might have guessed it, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Adam Thielen. Well, look, they are playing out studs on the football field and in training camp up to this points. Lindsey Young covers this for us, saying, it's no surprise Jefferson is picking up right where he left off from 2 phenomenal seasons. And while Thielen may be one of the eldest players on Minnesota's rosters, he really isn't showing the signs. Osborne took a massive step forward between his 2020 rookie campaign and last season, and he seems to have hit yet another level. O'Connell said fans will continue to see Osborne making, quote, a lot of plays down the field. It should be applauded, he noted, but not surprising. I've seen him make critical catches on 3rd down. I've seen him benefit from being in the huddle with guys like Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, O'Connell said. With a marriage of the run and the pass, that 3rd receiver position requires a guy to do a lot of jobs. Those jobs aren't always the glitzy glamour ones where we all take note of that. It might be setting a block or understanding how to hit a block in the run game, and ultimately how he plays with some of those screens and variations of what we do. He's been really, really good. There's no other way to describe it early on in camp. So right then and there, you know our wide receiver core, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Adam Thielen, are going to have an impressive season, especially under first-year head coach Kevin O'Connell, who just got done winning a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams and helping Cooper Kupp win the Triple Crown. Look, I'm pumped for the season. Very, very pumped for the season. O'Connell gets it. You can't put too many mileage under players' feet. Greg Joseph is making nearly everything at kicker, and that is something we should all be pumped about. And our wide receivers are off to a hot start. What more could you want as a Vikings fan so far in training camp? And hopefully that continues throughout not only preseason, but the regular season as well. So before we leave, hit that subscribe, that notification bell. Let's get the channel to 250 by the time we play the Green Bay Packers on September 11th, which is opening game. Have a great rest of your day. Skol Vikes.